好， 有吗？
我问一下，帮我想改12点，现在改12点。不，好。
12点准时开始，谢谢。
他们说12点准时。
谢谢。
一开始是先合照，然后才访问，然后是坐着访。谢谢。
Hello, everybody. How are we doing? You could do better than that. How are we doing? You just watched a man climb 1,700 feet up Taipei 101 without a rope. I know how I'm doing. I'm trying to come down from that right now. So we're going to set this up right now. We'll have a nice moderated discussion. Some of these questions have already come in through the press. I'll probably add in a little flavor and color as well. And thank you so much for your time, for your coverage, and for being here for this historic feat. We're just so excited that Alex is here, that he made it. Yeah, you can clap for that. Yeah, exactly. We made it. All right, I think we're ready to start. Everybody will take their seat. And as everyone's taking their seat, just a quick introduction of everyone that's going to be on the panel today. I'll start all the way here at my end. This is James Smith of Plimsoll Productions, the executive producer. This is expert champion climber, history maker herself, and close friend of Alex, Emily Harrington. If I have to introduce Alex to you, I don't know why you're here. Alex Honnold, and of course his lovely, incredible wife, Sonny Honnold, is here as well. So, and I'd be remiss not to say my name is Elle Duncan. I was the host of the event today from Netflix. So I'll start with you, Alex. I mean, you literally just accomplished a dream that you set when you were a child. How does it feel to know that it's now past you?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm sure I'll be glowing for days. No, it's incredible. You spend so long thinking about it and imagining that it's possible, but then to actually do it always feels different.
Anything about the weather delay yesterday that messed with your mentals at all or in your preparation? Like, how did you feel about the fact that you thought maybe you were going to be climbing and then it was pushed today?
Taipei and climbing to feel like a grand adventure. So, I mean, really that's just part of climbing, and that's totally fine with me.
We spent a lot of time before the climb sort of walking through what we assumed would be some of the more challenging parts. Now that you've actually accomplished it, like, what to you was the most difficult part of the climb?
I mean, I think for me personally, the biggest challenge was staying calm. I don't know, having the crowd, having the whole experience, having all the people around, it just makes it feel a little more intense. And so I think starting felt, I was a little more nervous getting off the ground. And then as I climbed, I relaxed more and more. I was like, oh, this is so fun. I mean, this is why I do it. It was incredible.
It's interesting because we did say that, right? Like, you typically free solo, and like the emphasis on solo, you're alone. What was that like, having all of these people watching and sort of playing to them, but also not wanting to break your concentration?
I mean, yeah, I think when I was leaving the ground, you're like, oh, it's kind of intense. There's so many people watching. But then honestly, they're all wishing me well. I mean, basically it just makes the whole experience feel almost more festive. I'm kind of like, all these nice people are out supporting me and having a good time. It's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful day. Everyone's enjoying this experience. And so in some ways, I think the energy actually kind of bolstered me as well.
Among the thousands of people that were watching here and the millions that were watching at home, your wife, Sonny, was one of them. Sonny, is this the first time you said you were watching Alex free solo something of this magnitude? Before we started, walk me through what you were feeling.
Well, I was definitely pretty enlivened by the energy of the crowd. It was truly wild to walk out of the building and just see so many people. And I was telling someone that when you really love someone and you think that they might be stressed, you're kind of like, I wish I could take their place. I wish I could take any of their stress away. But in this case, I was like, thank God I'm not him.
Did it give you any relief, though, to see, right away how much sort of joy and fun and playfulness Alex was exhibiting while he was doing this?
Yeah, I knew the second he left the ground, it would all just kind of not fade away, but get quieter, kind of be a little bit more of an internal experience, and then just be joyful. And so I was really happy once it just started. There wasn't any waiting, and he got to do what he wanted to do.
Emily, I mean, you're a really good friend of Alex. You've climbed with Alex quite a bit, but you had never watched him free solo either. And I know we had talked about how you were sort of feeling about that. As he's taking those first steps onto the building, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I was pretty stressed out. I had some anxiety. I think I didn't know what to expect. Free soloing, much like Sonny, it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable to watch it. So yeah, I just had a lot of emotion going on. But the crowd was quite cool to kind of feel that energy and see all these people who were just so excited. And so that kind of helped, but I feel like I had a little bit of a roller coaster going on. And then, yeah, slowly, as Alex got higher, I started to kind of settle in, and you were just being so playful and so excited, and you had a smile on your face, and I was like, okay, he's just having a great time, and I think I can breathe a little bit.
You know, Emily's right. We had this crowd in front of us at the set, and they reacted to literally everything Alex would do. They would gasp, or they would hold their breath, or they would cheer, or they would laugh when he would make a comment. And a part of the reason they were able to do that is because the access they were provided and the views that they were provided. And James, that's where you come in. I mean, this was no small task to capture what we just witnessed. What all went into it?
Yeah, some key people need to be mentioned, I think.
Yeah.
You know, what we've just seen, what enabled us to get those amazing shots is probably the best camera rig, I think, maybe in broadcasting history. I've never seen that many ropes, the skill that went in. So first I'm going to basically name check Waldo Etherington, who was our lead rigger. He and I were out here in March last year for our first scout, and then Waldo put together this genius team. So those great cable cam shots and things were from Waldo. And then you need extraordinary, and Waldo had this, he handpicked this amazing rigging team. Again, I mean, Alex, you've worked with loads of riggers, but all of those guys, I mean, there's like 8 of them or something, they are world class. And then you need world class camera operators, and that's a kind of easy thing really for me. I shouldn't take too much credit, because Alex and I have been cooking up this idea for a while, and I said, who's going to be the lead DOP? Who's going to kind of put this together? And he said, talk to Brett Lowell, who, you know, buddies of all of you actually. You know, he's just a legend really in the high angle climbing camera world. And I had a quick call with Brett. I mean, I don't know how long ago that was, a year and a half ago or something. And Brett, all those different angles, he was actually calling different things in my ear. You know, when he finished on 90, good shot on Mikey, good shot on Pablo, good shot on Sav. And all of these operators, again, kind of self-select in a way, the team that we built, because I mean, it stands to reason. When Alex is soloing, he needs to know that that camera up above him isn't going to, you know, drop something or whatever. I mean, it's, you know, Alex needs to look up and have total confidence in those people. So, again, the team that Brett put together, I've name-checked a few. Forgive me if I didn't mention some of the others, but they all come from the climbing world, and they are, you know, world-class. I mean, we had a world-class team here. And I'm just going to go off script slightly, if that's all right, because we're all talking about the climb, but you couldn't get a climb out live without a world-class live crew. And Al Berman, who's kind of sat back there, is they didn't have room on the panel for him, but what was wonderful for me was because I worked with Waldo and Brett and the cameras and everything else, but then we need to get this thing on air. So Al brought in the live team, yes. You know, stage directing, the truck, everything. Those of you that haven't been in the control room, it's magical. I mean, it's frenetic, but the kind of artistry and the creativity in the moment to make the right call, to let things feel. At the end, I don't know how many dry eyes were in the house when you two were, you know, just hugging at the end or whatever, and Al was saying, hold it. People were trying to do other stuff, stay with it. And you know, so this combination of world-class kind of camera and riggers and world-class live broadcasters it's just amazing. So props to the whole crew. There's a lot of us, but everyone did their jobs brilliantly.
Yeah, Al did an incredible job with his instincts, really guiding the ship. He was the one that was in my ear, and there was a lot of moving parts. Really quick, though, on the camera part, because you kind of nodded when he's like, we want to make sure that the cameraman doesn't, like, drop something on Alex. That wouldn't be ideal. It's part of building that trust, you know, being your friend, because it feels like you're sort of surrounded by friends on the camera crew.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there aren't that many high-angle camera people in the world, and so I'm friends with many of them, most of them. But I would say that as James said, I mean, the entire team today was world-class. Like, everybody is the best at what they do, and I think that for me, it makes it easier to do my best when I totally trust the team, and I know that they're all bringing their best as well. And so I mean, that's kind of, to me, an ideal project like this. It does feel like an expedition where we all come to a place together, we all do our absolute best to execute to the best of our abilities, and like they're doing what they do really, really well, and I try to do what I do as well as I can. So just, I don't know, it's so great. What a nice day.
What a nice day. What were you thinking? You summit, you get all the way to the top, you're at the top of the spire, and you have done it. Like, what was the first thing that flashed into your mind?
It was like, what a view, it's incredible. I was like, what a beautiful day. It was very windy, so I was like, don't fall off the spire. I was like trying to balance nicely. But no, I was like, what an incredible position. And I mean, what a beautiful way to see Taipei. And it's nice because we've been here all week and it's been gray and rainy, kind of socked in. And today was just so perfect and you could see for miles, super clear. I was like, couldn't be a better time to be on the top of the spire, appreciating the position.
We've talked a little bit about what still motivates you, and that's what the people want to know. They want to know what still motivates you at this point in your career. You clearly have nothing left to prove, to still take on really big objectives that push you outside of your comfort zone.
Well, I think you just said it. I like objectives that are new for me, that are different, that are challenging in some way. I mean, really, I like a reason to stay motivated and to get up early and to train and to do something exciting. So, you know, for me, I mean, a tower like this is so incredible. Like, literally from anywhere in the city, you look up and you're like, that looks amazing. And, you know, particularly as a climbing objective, something I've never done before, something that's challenging for me in the right way. I was like, this is incredible.
Can you clear something up for the folks that, you know, are at home going, oh, you know, this was a stunt. Like, they came to him and they were like, hey, will you do this? And can you share with people, A, when climbing Taipei 101 fell into your purview and why you wanted to jump at this opportunity?
Well, I mean, in general, I like to climb anything that looks cool that I'm allowed to. And so, you know, I first saw Taipei 101 over 10 years ago and was like, wow, that's incredible for climbing. That would be amazing. But at the time, didn't get the opportunity to actually climb it. And you know, at the time, I thought about climbing it without permission, you know, don't tell anybody. You know, but I was kind of like, oh, I know I can do it and it would be amazing, like maybe I should. But then out of respect for the building and respect for all the people on the team who had allowed me access to look at it, I was like, well, obviously I'm not going to poach this. Like, I'm going to, you know, respect the people and just see if it ever comes together. And so then for the project to come together more than a decade later, I'm like, oh, it's so great. What an opportunity. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah, James, because this doesn't just come together, right? There's a reason that people don't let people free solo climb buildings. What went into this?
Well, I mean, I just want to thank Taipei 101. I don't know who's in the room, but Janet and her team. You know, I've been working with Alex for about 5-6 years. You know, he's always talked. You know, when you're doing one project, you say, what do you want to do next? And the skyscraper's always been something we've discussed. And as Alex says, people climb buildings illegally, but, you know, it is so rare for a building to trust a climber and a team onto. I mean, this building occupies an amazing kind of position in Taiwanese, the landscape, as Alex says, but in their kind of culture and you know, society. It's a real icon of this country. And, you know, when we started talking about skyscrapers, Alex was like, you know, he had a list of the ones that he wanted to climb, and this was top of the list. I mean, for the reasons he says, it's got so many interesting features, an interesting route, but we needed the building to say yes. So, I mean, I won't go into all the detail, but I was out here about a year ago. I met with Janet and her senior team, put this proposal together. I thought it was a kind of 50-50 coin toss, whether they'd, you know, give us permission. And about halfway through my presentation, Janet just said, stop. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I think she'd seen Free Solo, you know, she kind of trusted Alex primarily. That's the most important person, obviously, in this whole project. But she said, let's do it. And then her entire team have made it happen. I talk about the rigging. We're all over the building. And her team have facilitated that and become part of our camera team. So thank you, Taipei 101.
Absolutely, thank you. And to the amazing city as well. They were really all in. Emily, I'm so interested from the climbing community perspective, how they are viewing what Alex initially wanted to attempt to do and has now accomplished. Like, how do they sort of look at these big objectives that Alex sets?
Yeah, I think people in the know kind of understand that Taipei 101 was not like a stunt. Like, it's real climbing. It took a lot of preparation. It took a lot of skill, a lot of experience, and really there's only one person who's capable of doing something like this, and it is Alex. And I think in the climbing community, it's been fun to see like how, once again, climbing has been launched onto the world stage. The first time it happened was because of Free Solo, and now it's happening again. And I think I think we really couldn't be more proud to have the representative for climbing be Alex, because he is such a great human and so impressive and inspiring and thoughtful, and really does like care about the climbing community. As you saw, like all of our friends are here on this project, and it's been incredible to be a part of it. I'm just so proud, and I think that I sort of represent that pride for the climbing community.
I can see like the emotion on your face right now, you know, just like what he means and like what's going through your mind right now. What's coming up for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited and relieved and proud to be a part of it. I'm super honored that I got to be a part of it. I feel so lucky to know both of you guys, because you're special. You're lovely people.
Yes. Yes.
Stop it.
Yeah. Sonny, you know, we've talked about this, right? There's all kinds of colorful adjectives that people that don't know Alex used to describe him. Crazy, adrenaline junkie. What do you think that people don't understand about why Alex free solos?
Well, I think that what people don't understand until they watch is how much fun he's having and just how joyful he is when he's doing it. That it's actually just like, it's almost like a childlike joy of just like, I'm up here and I'm playing. And I think that was the really cool part of today, that we all got to just watch him have a lot of fun, which is great.
If you sort of compare this moment, Alex, to maybe the least glamorous training day that you had in preparation for this climb, which one do you think actually demanded more from you? Was it the training or the reality of it?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I think doing the actual climb probably does demand more, just the pressure around it, the whole experience, but you're right that, I mean, training days, and in some ways I wouldn't even differentiate that much between all the training, because kind of the whole point of having a goal like this is to put in all the training days. I mean, I love the training, I love the whole process, I love all the practice climbs that I do to build up for a big climb like this. You know, basically I just love having a reason to train. And so, you know, I do think the climb itself probably does demand a little more. Like, I mean, I was definitely on my A game, like, performing today, and you can't necessarily bring that to every training session, because sometimes you're just tired or whatever else. But no, I mean, I love the whole process.
James, you've built a trust with Alex over the years because you've documented his climbs before. How did this one in particular differ from how you've sort of captured his previous climbs before?
So yeah, we worked together on 2 projects. Mm-hmm. One was in a very remote part of Greenland. One was in Alaska. So they're in the wild. But as Alex said, it felt like we were in the mountains. Weather was a massive issue. And it felt like we were getting mountain weather. You know, and everyone's saying, what's the weather going to be like in 10 days' time? I mean, make a guess. I mean, what's the weather going to be like in 24 hours' time? Make a guess. And we were caught out. Forecasts were saying the weather was going to be good on the 24th when we were due to go. What didn't happen. It was kind of akin, really, but a lot nicer, a lot more comfortable in a hotel than in a tent in Greenland. No polar bears either.
Shout out to the hotel. It was very, very nice. I love the moment at the end. Alex comes down, he meets you, Sonny. You guys are about to walk off, and then you're like, oh, should we shout out our daughters? Do you know, Alex, there's a lot being made of, like, you know, you've turned 40 and how you prepared for this, and how, you know, since we maybe checked in with you in free solo, you've gotten married and you've had children now. How has having children, how has being a father impacted your decision making and how you approach climbing objectives?
I mean, you know, I spend a lot more time at home, obviously, because I'm with the family. And so I think that means that I'm more selective about projects and just make sure I choose the right projects and choose them for the right reasons. And I think, you know, I mean, having a family hasn't diminished my love of climbing, but I just choose my objectives carefully and then train for them carefully and make sure I execute well. I guess, I mean, it hasn't, you know, having a family doesn't change who I am, doesn't change my passion for what I do.
Sonny, has there been anything that he's floated as a potential climb that you're like, no?
Definitely a few where you're kind of like, that's not sweet.
Yeah, no,
but those
I
are
mean,
more like personal projects normally, like random things around the house and things that I want to just climb the mountains.
There's, hanging pictures in the house. I'm like,
not in the house, but I mean, in our local area.
Yeah, no, there are things where I'm like, that doesn't feel so family friendly. For sure. There's moments where, but that's how partnership works. Everybody kind of speaks their mind, you say your piece, and then you kind of see what decision is made. You try and make decisions as a team, but you also have to respect the art behind it and the passion behind it. And this project kind of came together in a really cool way. And once Alex made that decision, like I kind of remember not being in resistance to it, but just kind of like not having it in my mind. And then 2 months ago being like, oh, this is coming up, this is happening. And I'd seen Alex training and I'd seen him preparing, but then he really kind of locked in. And so I felt that in my heart of like, we're locking in, full support mode, whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm just here for you. I'm here to problem solve, support, be optimistic, be positive, make sure everything's in line. And that's like, and Alex does that for me, for my projects and in my life and in my work. So that's what makes us a good team, I think.
So may I just say that Type 101 is actually an incredibly family-friendly climbing objective, in so much as for most climbs, you go to some far-flung place, you don't have cell service, you're gone for months, you're living in a tent. I mean, here we FaceTime the kids, we'll be home, we fly home tomorrow. I'm kind of like, it's pretty chill in the grand scheme of climbing objectives. I mean, compared to going to the greater ranges, like the far-flung mountains of the world, and then being in, living on a glacier in a tent for a month.
Yeah.
Like this is pretty civilized. So, I mean, I think overall this is way less time away from the kids, and I mean, it's kind of a great objective.
There you go. I think the building has their new catchphrase, a very family-friendly climbing objective.
Exactly.
Should anyone want?
No one else but Alex.
Right, exactly. Well, and I love that you say that. Emily, I asked you on the broadcast, right? Because, again, Emily is a champion climber. She's a history-making climber. Certainly trailblazing and pushing limits is in her DNA. And I said, would you free solo? And you said?
No, absolutely not. No.
Why? Why is Alex so unique in wanting to do this?
Yeah, I don't think that many people are drawn to free soloing, and I think I'm not drawn to it. I get enough of my fear management out of just rock climbing with a rope, and I feel very good about that, and I get enough challenge from it. I think free soloing is very unique, and there's not that many people who even want to do it, and I think what makes Alex so special is he is an elite climber, so he's very technically good, physically strong, works really, really hard. And then that mental side, that sort of ability to shut everything out and be so pinpoint focused and super present when the consequences are so high is unique. And then the third piece that I think is just so important that I think a lot of people gloss over is like there's an intense desire to do it. Mm-hmm. There's an intense desire, like he gets something out of it that's so powerful, that makes you keep wanting to do it and seek out these objectives. And I just think that combination, like there's only one Alex Honnold, and that's why.
When I met with you at your house, Alex, in December, you mentioned to me that there used to be, maybe in the early 90s, like more people that would free solo, and those numbers have certainly declined. Do you have an idea or, I don't know, like a guess as to why we don't see people take that same risk that maybe we did in the early 90s in this space?
Well, I think that's sort of a broader question around risk-taking and risk tolerance and things. And I mean, part of that I think is the climbing has become a lot more popular, but most people access it through gyms and cities. And so there's a little bit less of the adventurous spirit. And, there are plenty of people out still adventuring and climbing, but I think that there are far more climbers now, and most of them are accessing it from a totally safe environment. And so I don't know. I mean, but you could get into sort of cultural perception around risk-taking as much as you want, but I think that for whatever reason, people are maybe slightly more risk-averse right now than they were, say, 30 years ago when I started rock climbing.
You very famously, after you free soloed El Cap, it was like, so what are you gonna do? And you're like, I guess I'm just gonna hit the hangboard a little bit. So now that you've just climbed a building, what you gonna do, Alex?
I mean, honestly, I probably will actually do some kind of training either tonight or tomorrow morning because we're gonna fly home, and so that's like a bunch of time resting on the plane. And when I get home, I've got a climb that I'd really like to do, and so I've got to be fit.
Everybody's gonna ask, like, what's the next? Right, you've done this. Like, what's next? It's got to go bigger. It's got to go. When you are sort of looking at the landscape and seeing what intrigues you, what's interesting, is it one of those let it come to you things? Do you actively go seek? Like, how do you sort of let that process play out?
No, I let it come to me. I mean, I always have projects around my house. I always have some kind of climb that I'm working on just because I love having a reason to get up and train. I mean, I love working on something. It's like the pleasure of striving, basically. But I think the big objectives, things like Type 101, to some extent, you just have to be striving all the time, training, and then let these things kind of happen as they happen. Because I mean, particularly with Taipei 101, I mean, you can't grasp at it too hard. Like, if it comes together, you know, if a project like this coalesces and the people at the building give permission and everybody, you know, if it happens, it's incredible and it's, you know, small miracle. But you can't try too hard because you just never know when things like this will come together.
I'll end with this question so that we can let you go work out or eat or whatever it is that you want to do. Let's be real, most people are never going to want to or attempt to free solo a skyscraper. But what do you hope the message or the takeaway from today's experience was for all of the people that watched you do that across the world?
I mean, honestly, I don't really know. I mean, one of the things that I learned, I think, from the film Free Solo over the years was that people kind of take the message that they need from it. I think that people often find the inspiration that they need to pursue their own challenges, their own goals, or, you know, it's often the kick they need to do whatever it is that they want to do in their life. I mean, I don't think anybody watches something like this and they're like, I'm going to go free soloing. But often they'll watch something like this and it's a reminder that their time is finite and they should use it in the best way, the most meaningful way that they can. And so I think, you know, if anything, I hope that that's what people take from it. They're kind of like, oh, if you work really hard at it, you know, you can do hard things if you try, and like maybe I should try.
The mastery of it. I can tell you that everybody that was a part of this project really wanted to do right by Alex because we were watching someone work so hard and prepare and be a master at his art, and it really inspired all of us to try to meet that by doing the best that we could as well. And we hope that we served you well and chronicled your story. It was an absolute privilege to be here and watch you do that, to spend time with you, Sonny and Emily. James, thank you for making this happen. Janet, and to everyone here at Taipei 101. Absolutely incredible, Al, and to Netflix and Plimsoll. We're just so grateful. And with that, we say thank you, congratulations, Alex, you did it. And let us know, you know, what's next. Thank you all so much.
Amazing.
Everyone on my team.多谢，了解。可以啊，可以。